Hello again, and welcome back to another tutorial. And this time I will try to remove a really old fungus with the hydrogen peroxide. It's a 3% in my old Nikon Nikkor Pre-Ai 200mm and Aperture 4. So let's see what we can do about it. Yeah, first let's zoom out. This is the subject. And this is the tool. We need actually some of the tools. This lens has really a lot of fungus in, and we can, by using a torch, I can show you how it looks. I mean, a lot of fungus. Not really in the front lens group, but the back lens group. As you can see, there is a lot of fungus in in the two lens element in the back lens groups. But how to come into it? Well, there's also a lot of other fragments in here, which you probably can see if I use my torch here. There are some fungus inside the lens. Difficult to see, I know, but I will very soon disassemble it fully. This lens is also a bit, I mean, the focus ring is a bit not so smooth and as I like it. So I will first clean the lens element front group with 3 lens elements and the back lens group with 2 lens elements. But I will first clean those and in another video show how I can remove the old fungus in other parts of the lens. It will be fully disassemble the focus system, helicoids, and re-lube it. So stay in touch for other videos. Now, back to work. We need some tools, and in this case we need a 1.2mm flathead screwdriver. This is a brand Vera, which I like, and a JIS screwdriver, which is a real JIS. This is a 2.5mm. It's a Moody tool which I have buy on iFixit.com. There's a set of 4, but I actually better like the modified P800, which is a Vera brand. I think it works pretty good. I modified by file the very pointy tip away with a fine needle file. So the screw tip fits perfect in the screw. Don't use a Phillips screwdriver because you will probably damage some of the screws around in the lens. Well, you also need some tweezers, can be very handy. This is an old compass which I have modified by file and grind each end. I mean each side of the compass to work as a lens spinner. Some rubber tools is also very handy. You can get them in a very different size. But you can also go into the hardware store and buy a gasket for the plumbing tube pipes, which you can get them in very different size. And the rubber is really sticky, so I use them now and then. Of course, you can also use the rubber tool from Japan, Hobby Tool. It's a set of 6 cones with 2 different sizes in each end. Or you can also use the inside. So there's actually, let's say, 12 different, I mean more than 12, actually a lot of possibilities. A lens sucker is very handy, and a small bowl with some lens tissue in the bottom so you not damage the lens. We need some nail polish remover, and we need some lighter fluid, and this is not something special. It could be Zippo. This is just the brand called Extra. Yeah, the nail polish remover with acetone, very important. And we of course need the hydrogen peroxide 3%, which you can get in the Aperture or something. And we need some pack pad, non-abrasive wipes, which I like. And we probably also need some very sticky gloves. I mean, this is garden gloves. It's very sticky to unscrew things. So now let's get into work. I will begin with the front lens group, which is very easy to access. To access the whole front group, we only need to unscrew a tiny set screw, because the whole front tube around here needs to come off, and it's important. You can unscrew the little set screw. Where did it go? There is a tiny set screw here, which you can unscrew with the 1.2mm flathead screwdriver, and by then you after can unscrew the retaining ring, front ring of the lens. But in this case I found out that it is much easier to access the small set screw by unscrew another set screw, which is a lock screw for the whole front tube, lens group tube. So by loosen it only. So, and then have a good grip on here, and then unscrew it. So now we're in here, and now you can actually see the what I mean about the fungus in here, which you can see there is a lot of fungus all the way down this inner tube, which hold the part of the aperture system. And I will disassemble all that, not in this video, but this is only about the lens element. Now I will just take care of the front lens group. So by the lens hood, which is now very easy to simply push out, and it looks like this. Now put it aside. Now we can easily access the tiny set screw on the front that actually lock the front ring here. Just loosen it, and then use a rubber tool. It could be the gasket here, which is 60mm, and simply put it on and unscrew counterclockwise. So here we are, and now it's time to unscrew the retaining ring that actually hold the front lens group into place. Not all of the lenses, because there are actually two lens elements that hold by the retaining ring. So by using my old compass here, which is very good for that, and just take a measure how wide it should be, something like that, and then unscrew it. If you cannot unscrew it, well, there's actually something you can do, and it's use some nail polish remover, because the factory use some what do you say, thread lock. It could be Loctite or something, not Loctite super glue, but they very often use a kind of a thread lock. So by using a small amount on a cotton bud, so, and just put on the thread here and let it suck in. You maybe have to do it 2 or 3 times, especially the area where the thread lock is, which is could be here. And remember, the set screw has to be unscrewed a little bit more. So, and now it should be very easy to unscrew the retaining ring. Have a good grip on it, on the lens spinner tool, whatever, and simply loosen it, and it should be very easy to unscrew. Now then it should be possible to use my rubber tools here and simply unscrew the retaining ring, which is much easier than using a lens spinner. So, and here we are, almost there. So, and just put the cap on here. Now, as the retaining ring comes off, it's here. Now flip the lens tube over and just tap on it, because the next lens, which is actually the middle lens element, should also come off. But of course the way they make it is very precise. Well, so you can see it will not come out. So therefore we need a lens sucker. And there's one thing we also need to be very sure about, because the lens, how do they face? Well, in this case they actually set a mark here, a very tiny mark. I know it can be difficult, but the arrow is actually facing this to the front. So this is the very front lens surface, and the metal ring that is also made as a curved the way it's made, so it sits proper on the lens surface here. So if you put it in the wrong direction, it will not. As you probably can see, there's a difference in the way the ring sits. You probably can see there. So if I turn it over, the lens ring sits proper. Now there is no gap here, but if I turn it over, there's actually a gap between the lens and the spacer. So it has to sit like this. And then I can just use this rubber tool as a stand for the lens. And hopefully get the next lens element out with my lens sucker tool. So just press it in and gently, and hopefully, and it helps a little if you also move the lens by turn it. There's simply some vacuum because of the precise way they make it. So it sits really tight. So by turn it, I mean, it should be possible to take it out. It's not. That was weird. Normally they come out very easy. So here we are. And now somebody also have put an arrow here, as you can see. Probably it's not me, but I guess it is the factory or another repair person for many years ago. So now I'm very sure how it should sit. And the way I can show you that, it's more, I mean, the surface that goes to the back of the lens, of the tube, it's more straight in the surface than the lens surface that face to the front. So it's more like, what do you say, it's more curved. So just to be sure how it should sit, and then put it somewhere on a stand. So this is part of it. Now the front lens tube is not that hard on the Fungus, so I will just try to clean it the normal way. So I will begin with the front of the lens, and by using some hydrogen peroxide added to a small bowl. And some lens tissue. Oh. Come out. So here we are. And I will just use some lighter fluid because it's, in my opinion, very good for those things. and just do some movement. Begin in the middle and go more out and then out. Maybe it doesn't help, we'll see. And maybe there are some fungus on it. Well, I could actually just try to use some just a test, see how it will work. And I can simply just cut a piece of lens tissue and let it suck into something like the hydrogen peroxide, and simply put it over the lens just to see if it will work. Sometimes it works pretty good, and let's see how good it will be. Maybe let it sit a little. So, and then clean after with a lens tissue with the lighter fluid on. It is my my experience that you have to clean twice with some fluid just to, wow, it helps. So just do the other side. There are some tracks of fungus, so I will simply just do the same process again. It seems like it works really good. And then clean after with the lighter fluid. Good, and we just do it again. Just to see how good it will be. So, and now things has really improved a lot. There's something on the corner, there's not. Well, just do it again. See, sometimes it's better to do it 2 or 3 times just to be sure everything is away. Now the lens is, well, there is something on here. Just a small mark. Maybe it's not easy to take away. Weird. There's something on, but I don't know what it is, but I mean, it is an old lens, so it could be whatever. So this lens is actually clean, I mean, as clean as it could be. It's not a new lens, but as you can see, it's much better. And then we go for the next lens element. I just need a place to put this lens. Could be sit here. And now this lens will have the same. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, this is more haze like in it's more haze, and then it actually is fungus. So let's see how it will go. And then a lens tissue. So, and it's actually better to cut them into pieces. So let's see if I use some hydrogen peroxide and simply add it to the lens surface. So instead of putting the whole lens into the hydrogen peroxide, I simply just use a lens tissue to wipe away add the hydrogen peroxide to the lens. Let's see how it will go. So, wow, that was one surface. So let's do the other side and do the exact same thing. It's very interesting, this stuff. So, and then it's not away yet. Give it another go. And let's see how, wow. There's still something on this surface. You probably can see, no, it's difficult to see. Yeah, maybe, yeah. But I just do it again. It's a funny thing, this hydrogen peroxide, when trying to getting a lens tissue wet, it will not really suck into the tissue. So it's a bit weird. See, that helps. Wow. It's simply clear. So let's see how it looks. It was a bit hazy before, but now, yeah, there's still something on, but it's really very, very little. So I think it's fine. Maybe it needs some more time in the hydrogen peroxide, but remember, this is only a tutorial that shows how you can do it. So now I will just take the back lens element of the front lens group and see if it's possible to go in. And where's my cotton bud? There. Yeah, because yeah, there is a retaining ring in here, which you can see there. There are two notches, one there and another one there. And I need my lens spinner compass tool to loosen it. Just adjust it a little so it fits absolutely fine. Have a good grip, and then, well, if it sits tight, we again use some nail polish remover to, oh gosh, come here, do you mind, little bottle? So, and use a cotton bud to just dip some drops of nail polish remover on the retaining ring to soften the thread lock, and let it stay a little before you actually unscrew it, so it can soften the thread lock. So, and where did it go? Here. And now it should be possible to unscrew the retaining ring, have a good grip on it, and then yeah, and it comes loose. And again, hopefully I can use my my rubber tool. It's a bit too big. Well, I also have the other one, which is from Amazon. You can buy those rubber tools there. A set of 9 with 18 different size for working with lenses. So, and then I can just flip it over and then let the lens fall into the rubber tool and the retaining ring, and so it is. So again, oh, there's the little mark, and the curved side is towards the front, and the flat side is towards the back of the lens. So this lens element is very easy to know how it should sit. But let's see how it is actually. Well, some dirt and some haze or other small parts. So let's see if I do it. Yeah, I take the flat side first and flip it over and do the other side. So let's do it with the hydrogen peroxide. first and try to see what we can do about it. One can put a little pressure on the lens tissue without any problem. The coating is absolutely very hard, so there shouldn't be any problem. And then add the lighter fluid and do the same rotation, then out. Wow, it really helps a lot. Then flip it over and do the other side. So, and then use a lens tissue with lighter fluid on to see how good it can be. So, there's still something on, so we just do it again. Sometimes it's not good enough first time, so yeah, I think we have it. Sorry, it's going to be winter. Let's see how this lens element will look after that with the torch to it. Well, there are some small specks. So it's really good. And it should be very easy to put back into the lens tube. So there. Yeah, I think it would be that. Where is the tube? It's here. But there is still something that is not good with this tube, and that's the fungus or spores or so. So how about that? No, it's not lens spores. I thought it was something really bad, but it isn't. It's simply just the what do you say? The thread lock. But I can use some hydrogenperoxide to simply dry out part of thing here and see if I can do anything to wipe away the fungus spores also. And then add little lighter fluid, and then do the rest of the cleaning. I don't think there is any fungus left in the tube. I don't know yet, but it looks really fine compared to the rest of the lens. So and then it's time to assemble the front lens group using a rubber tool to put the lens into place. So it is. And simply screw it in. So, and it sits fine. And simply tighten the retaining ring. So, sorry. And then the next ring, which has an arrow, so it should sit like this, which is the front. So again, I will simply just put the two lens element in one single sequence. And since there's no hair or whatever, I can simply just put them together. And by using my lens tool to put it in, let's see, not this one but the other one, where did it go? Here. So and simply put it on. And because of the very precise way they put it together or made, it can be a problem to put in the lens element. So, and by wiggle, so. And then the retaining ring goes on here. Okay, do you mind? Click. This is, and so it will be a lot easier to screw it on. This is another gasket, 56.6 millimeter, and it's also very sticky and very good to working with lenses. Then I can just screw in the front retaining ring, so no accident here. Can I use this one? No, 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 no. Okay. So, very, very gently screw the retaining ring in. So, and then tighten it. Put on the front retaining ring. And so it is there. Using this gasket. Tighten it and So that's it. Now the lens hood comes on, and then we are done with this end of the lens. But how does it actually look? Well, it's much better, much better. Still an old lens, but I'm happy about it. So now the more interesting part is the back lens group. And all this shit inside of Fungus. Now, to open the back of the lens, you need to take all 5 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws on the on the lens mount bayonet, and by experience they use a lot of glue for those old lenses, so therefore the screwdriver has to fit very good in the screw head. It could be a modified modified P800 or a JIS 2.5mm. It fits really good, but in my opinion I like the modified better. Just what I like. Well, but if the screw sits, if those screws sit really tight, you simply add a few drops of nail polish remover on the on each screw, let it suck in, and let it sit a little, just a short time, and then it will be a lot easier to unscrew. The whole mount come off in one piece. There is nothing special about this in this lens. So here we are. It will be very, very interesting to see how much the hydrogen peroxide can do with the fungus inside here. This is a serious fungus. So off with the this is a gap for the aperture pin connection to the camera. So if I close, you can see the aperture blades will move as long as I flip the pin here. Move the pin. And I will continue in the next video with fully disassemble the whole system here and clean and re-lube it. And also clean the parts inside here for all those old fungus thing. But now to the back lens group, we need to take off the whole tube here, which is much easier to work with than let it sit in the lens. We can of course take out the lenses from here, but I think it's just easier to work in that way. So by using a, where did it went? Yeah, this gasket acts really as a good lens unscrewing thing, because it's very sticky. So off it comes out, the whole lens group in one single tube. There are 2 lens elements here in here. Now you can see the part of the aperture in here. So, well, it's not part of this video, but I will simply unscrew the first retaining ring here, and it looks like there hasn't been used any thread lock, so let's jump into it. So by using my lens tool or a rubber tool, could be, we could see, so it sits perfect in the 2 notch on each side. I mean 1 on each side, of course. I could try with this rubber tool, but it's not the correct size, so I need to unscrew it with the lens spinner. Again, have a good grip on it and then loosen it, so it comes easy off. Maybe it's different in your lens, but have the good tool to work with. But I can use the rubber tool here to unscrew the retaining ring easy. That's really good. So flip the lens tube over and then hopefully get the lens out. Oh, it's not free yet. So here we are. No, it's because of the lightning, I mean the light stuff in here, like the, I don't know what it's called, to prevent from stray light. So let's see if I can get it out by my lens sucker. There's really serious fungus on this one. There's a bit tight fit, so here we go. Wow, a lot of fungus. Again, the lens element has to sit correct, and if there is any sign of an arrow, there is actually here. So this is facing, I mean, the flat side. I mean, the very most flat side is to the front, and the curved side, which is not very curved, but is more, it's to the back of the lens. So be careful to that. But let's see how it will look. Really serious fungus. So I will simply jump the lens, the whole lens, into the bath here with hydrogen peroxide, and then continue with the next lens element, which is deeper into the tube here. You can also see there is a lot of fungus spore here. And how much is in? A lot. So it will be very interesting to see if I can remove that with just hydrogen peroxide. But I will continue to the retaining ring, and it looks like they have used some thread lock. And again, with the good stuff here, the nail polish remover, and we'll simply try to see if one can, yeah, let it suck in all the way around. So, stinks a little. The cap on here. And try to unscrew it. So, have a good grip on it. So, something like that. And hopefully it is possible to, yeah. And off it comes. And hopefully the other end of this rubber tool can be used for that, to simply unscrew the retaining ring. Yeah, it's fine, really good. Now off with the smaller retaining ring, which is here, and out with the lens element. Hopefully it can just be turned over and flip out. So here it is. And again, we're lucky, there is an arrow. So let's see how the lens is actually facing into the lens, into the tube here. So there is a curved side, which is like this. That's to the back. And the more, what you say, the lens surface is more like a like something like that, and it goes to the front of the lens. So, and this is really not good. Let's see how it looks. Well, I would say there are fungus on this this lens, but it's interesting, it's not on, it's more on this side, I mean on the yeah, not the curved side, but the other, which is looks like this. I don't know how to explain, but I think we should put it in somewhere when I have taken out the other lens element. So do something to pick it up. Maybe it will work, maybe not. Let's see how it will go. And then put in the most harm, I mean the worst lens directly into the hydrogen peroxide, and then use a lens stand. Yeah, this can be used for holding this lens. It has the good size, and then I can just add it on the other rubber tool. So let's see how it will go. I think it's pretty interesting, this stuff. How to restoring an old lens which was really good in the past, and it can probably be as good as it was. I mean, not very as it was, but it can be used for something. So, and I will simply just use some lighter fluid, clean it, and I will just do it again. Interesting. But the other side is more interesting. Need to clean away. This is a lint roller, so but it's really good to take away hairs and stuff from the rubber tool. I know it sounds silly, but I just use tools for different things. Now the other side is also very interesting. See how it will go. Wow, that was interesting. You you saw before how bad it was, and I will show you how good it will be. So now, much better. Much better. I'll just do another go when the other lens is done. I mean, hopefully done. Let's see how it go. Oh, come on, little fellow. And put this back in. So, this is really serious, Fungus. Wow. Now let's see how it will go when adding some just do the other side. So this is a good experiment to see how you actually can clean the lens element. And we just need a clean one. Well, it helps. Just to see how much. Oh yeah. Okay. It seems like things will work. Just need to clean this. Wipe away. So. Then I will just clean it again with some lighter fluid. Wow. But there's still something on. So I'll just try to do another way of doing it. Sometimes a little pressure on the lens element will work. Which is actually do. Now this is actually very interesting, as I can see, it will turn out to be very good. Wow, it's that's amazing. There's a little bubble in the glass element. No, it was not a glass, I mean a bubble, it was some dirt. yeah, I think it will be a fine lens again, even if it looks really bad in the beginning. But there's still something on, so I will try to use Eclipse lens cleaning because it works now and then in a different way of lighter fluid. Very interesting. Lighter fluid do something, and yeah, here we go. Lighter fluid do something and Eclipse do other things. Interesting. Okay, remember how it looks before, and look how it looks right now. Very interesting, I think. I mean, just amazing. So the other lens, I gave another treatment. Just pick it up, see how it will go. So, and continue with the Eclipse. Amazing. Just amazing. Wow. It's clean. So as you can see, well, there's some specks there, which can easily be blown away. And the lens should face like this. The flat side here to the front and the curved side to the back. So by putting it away, we can do so. And where did the tube go? So I can actually clean part of the stuff here away with a lens tissue with some Hydrogenperoxid on it. The lens tissue, yeah. Let's see, hopefully I can do something about the stuff on this, here. Yeah. It's not very good to wipe away wet stuff, but I can just use a normal lens cloth microfiber. So it looks really good to me. So, and ready to put in stuff again. Where did my arrow go? Goes here. And the retaining ring. Maybe I should clean the retaining ring a little. So, and now put in the lens element in the tube. Go there. And where did my tube goes? So, don't know where all those small hairs come from. So, put it on the rubber tool. And then put in the lens and the retaining ring. This has to say click when the retaining ring is in the thread. Come on, little fellow. Sometimes it's hard to put those retaining rings in to place. So here we are. So, and then tighten it gently. So, and here we are. With a much cleaner lens. That's amazing. If you ask me, yes, it is. Just do something about so, and on with this lens. Remember the curved side to the back. Yeah, the arrow is here facing that way. So the flat side is here. So now it's ready to put in to the lens again. That's just amazing. So it says click. It's a nice sound because then I know the retaining ring is in the thread. And then I can just use my lens spinner to gently tighten it. So, but how does it actually look when we take it to a torch? Well, it's much better. It's really much better. But there's still something in. But as you can see, the lens can actually be used as a lens, and not as something blurry stuff. I could also take away some of the what you say, the fungus in here, and then put the lens together. But well, it's not good with this stuff in here. I would like to take it out and clean it, but yeah, let's see what we can do about it, because I need to, if I want to go in here, I need to fully disassemble the focus ring, the aperture stuff, the aperture part. Yeah, I should just continue. The video will be longer than I expect, but let's see. To go into in here, I need to take off the aperture ring. So let's get rid of some stuff here. So the aperture ring comes off, and there are two screws, and they also hold the part in here. So if I set it to near end, it will be easier to take out the aperture key. So two screws, and they also use some kind of thread lock. So I will use my nail polish remover, and of course I should have added to the other screw, but you can just add something on the screw here. Need some more. Let it suck in, and then wait a little, and then you can easily unscrew it. So now the key is here, and the screw is also here. So by taking out the key here, as you can see, for the aperture, so, and then it's easy to take off the aperture ring. And next I need to take off the rubber. Hold on a second. I need to take off the rubber here to get into the aperture system and take it out, and also take out the whole thing here. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I need my dentist tool. This is a spade. I think it's called a spade. In different yeah, the one is in that angle and the other is in different angle. But this tool is really good to go under the rubber here and then go all the way around to get it a little bigger. And then at the same time press a little on it. Then I can just pull out the rubber band here. So it is off and in good condition. That's good. Now there are 3 screws around here. One there, there and there. So set the lens to infinity. Very important. And simply unscrew those 3 screws. So, and off it comes the focus ring. So be sure to set the infinity and then pull off the focus ring. And as we can see, there's a lot of stuff in here that needs to be cleaned. But I would like to take the inside first. So by taking out the whole aperture system, which is held in place by 3 screws, there, there and there. And by unscrew those, but before we do so, important, well, I will unscrew 1 screw. It could be that screw, or this screw, but I will take out this screw. Of course, I have been into the lens before and investigate how it should be taken apart. So the important thing is, well, I set a mark here, just a pen and a permanent marker. But I also set a mark here. I actually make a scratch here. And that's very important, because if you do not do it, if you don't do it, the aperture setting will not be correct. So by setting a mark, I know where things should sit. Correct. So by taking off the 2 other screws, the aperture system should be loose. Part of it. So, and then you can simply pull out the whole thing, the whole thing of the aperture. But there's a pin here, and you can see it moves. And when at the same time I lift out the aperture tube, so, and this is the aperture. It should be set like aperture 16, and you can see there is something wrong here. So this spring has to sit there. So this is the way it works here. The connection pin from the aperture here up to the connection of the aperture assembly is, when I move this, it will move up here. And this fork, kind of a fork, it would push on this little pin. So by moving the pin, it will simply move the aperture ring inside here. So that's the way it works. But I need to go further into the tube here and the whole front here. So by unscrew those 3 screws here, one there, there and there. But before doing so, make a scratch. Yeah, a real scratch in here. No one will see it. Make it here on each side here and there, because then you will be very sure where this whole tube should sit. And there's also one retaining ring on the back here which need to be loosened, unscrew it fully. So by using a little nail polish remover on a cotton bud, you simply dip something nail polish remover into the thread, and it will easily soften the thread lock. There was some metal fragment. So let it sit a little, and then it should be possible to unscrew this retaining ring. Just adjust it a little and simply damn. So it loose. It's loose right now. Whoa, I make a scratch in here. Okay, well, I can put some black paint on it. No problem with that. But by simply unscrew the this retaining ring, wait a little. I'll not unscrew it fully yet, because I want to unscrew those 3 screws up front here. There shouldn't be any problem with that. Okay, they have used some thread lock, so if there's any thread lock or the screws should sit very tight, you can simply add a little nail polish remover on the screw and let it suck in. It will easily soften the thread lock. Holding a finger or 2 on the back here so the stuff will not fall out. So I will unscrew this. Okay, where did it go? Here. Now the whole front here can actually be moved, but I need to unscrew the retaining ring here on the back fully so it's completely free. So here we are, and the ring is loose. Now then it should be possible to actually take out the whole front here, and it looks like this. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff here that need to be cleaned. And there is a tube on the back here, which looks like something here. And as you can see, this is actually sitting on here with the retaining ring on. And this pin goes into here and is moving. This pin here is actually the connection to the aperture ring. So when moving the aperture ring, it will move this ring, and at the same time go up here and move the aperture here. So pulling out this, we can actually see what's happened. So there. Where did it go? There. That's a good thing with setting a mark. I know exactly where it should sit. So by moving the aperture, I can not this. Should sit all the way to this pin here. So when putting it on, let's see what's going on here. It's a very tight fit. So this sits there, and by putting this on here with this little fork, it goes into the tiny little this pin here. So there. So if I put this on, when I put this on here and catch the pin in there, I can actually move the aperture, if I'm lucky enough. Oh, difficult. What's going on here? Oh, it's over there. Now, okay, maybe it's easier to see it here. So by moving the aperture as I close it, like there, then you can see, hey. Okay, I hope you get it. It's better to show in that way. So this pin, this fork, will move the blade in here, and as I move it, the blades will open more and more. And of course, together with the other pin here that is connected to this one here. If I just help it a little, it will move like that. So that was actually part of it. I mean, I could, yes, the last thing. The whole thing here is actually to move, but I can take that part out. But so if you set it out of infinity, not too much, because then you will unscrew the whole helicoid. But there are two screws here, but before unscrew it, you simply need to make some scratch here, just to be sure that this part sits correct. I already set some mark, as you can see here and there, just to be sure. So by taking out the whole stuff, yeah, and simply move it and draw it out. See, there is a kind of a gear, I mean, so removed like that. And the pin in here is not fully round, it's cut on one side, and it's the same here with this. It's not fully round, so it's connected to there, and actually move the pin up here. So well, that's all for now. I will just clean it, and there will be a part 2 of this video. So see you sooner.